Hey, how you guys doing? Ruby, 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 Ruby. I won't make that mistake again. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Let me know that you can hear me. And as soon as I get the A-OK from you guys, we will jump into the game. So let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the announcements. The chats. Leave a comment. Can you guys hear me? I know there's a bit of a delay. Yeah. So let's, loud and clear. All right. Very cool. Thank you. Much appreciated. So I'm going to jump into the subject and then we'll do our usual Q&A. So, yeah, good stuff. So let me load up Discord. So some of you may know I do have a Discord channel. I think we have 2,000 people have joined so far. So I asked earlier, do you have any questions? So I figured I would answer the questions that were put to me right here. First question from Ghost Ninja. Hey, Stef, can you please discuss how to identify high-impact task projects to help you progress in your career? Okay. Also, do you have any advice for what more senior people, 10+ years, should focus on in their careers as they progress, either as an individual contributor or as someone who might want to move to leadership role like architect or CTO? So let's start with the first one. Can you discuss how to identify high-impact task projects to help you progress in your career? In terms of, there's no specific technology I would suggest because, it depends on where you happen to be working at. If you're working at a mobile app developer where they use iOS a lot, that would be one thing. Or if they're using Android, if you're doing the web stack, yada, 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 you understand what I'm saying? So high impact task projects to help you progress in your career. I would say what you want to do is, in terms to progress in your career as a good coder, you want to make yourself extremely useful. Solve other people's problems as much as you can, as much as you reasonably can. Become the person that they can rely on, that's willing to solve problems. That would be my first suggestion, kind of a blanket suggestion. What are high impact tasks? So that in itself would qualify as that. As an extension to that, just be somebody who's willing to learn new things without complaining based on the needs of the job. That's also cool too. So that's my answer for question number 1. So there's no specific technology to learn. Again, just keep refining your skill sets. Learn to refactor code effectively. Get into design patterns. There's some links below for books that I suggest. That's all very important. Next question was, or is, also, do you have any advice for senior people on what to focus on in their career as they progress? If you want to move into leadership role, architect, CTO, that comes down a lot of times to interpersonal skill. You have to have interpersonal skills so that you can communicate with everybody, be well organized, be on time. So it's less of a technical issue, although you might want to get into software architectures, that kind of thing. But interpersonal skills, I would say, is first and foremost, especially if you want to get into upper levels where you want to get into management, whether it be managing a team of developers or becoming a CTO eventually. Interpersonal skills, that's a huge thing. And in fact, as I discussed in the last stream, a lot of hire recruiters, the biggest problem they have is finding people who not only know how to code, but also have good interpersonal skills. By the way, hit the likes, please, if you will. The Google algorithms appreciate that. So let's go to question number 2. Maybe tips on developing mindset for problem analyzing and solving. All right. So he's jamming coder again from my what's this called again? Yeah, from my community here. I think most people getting into coding, a big barrier is they don't even know how to analyze problems correctly. So let me give you the big tip here with regards to how to analyze complex problems properly. So again, this is from my Discord. There's a link below. I invite you to check. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. It's just good for the Google algorithms. So yeah, so what you want to do is, I learned this a long time ago outside of software, is when you have a big problem, what you want to do is you want to break it down into smaller problems. Yeah, that is first and foremost what you do. I would argue probably the most important design pattern in software development is basically that. It's called MVC, Model View Controller. It separates most apps that you would build into three components: the model code, the view code, which are the screens, and the controller code. The model code is basically all the database interaction, the business logic. So you have your business logic over here, your view code over here, and then you have your controller code in between, brokering the interaction between the two layers. That is an example of how it's integrated into best practices of software to break down complexity into components. That's what object-oriented programming is all about as well. It's about breaking down complexity into components. So just to be sure, can everybody hear me? I'm pretty sure I would have thumbs downs and complaints if not everybody could hear me. Yes, I think everybody can hear me. So there you go. That is, in a nutshell, I've answered those two questions. I hope that was useful for you guys, something to think about. So let me just do a little bookkeeping here. If you're new to code and you want to get into coding, I always recommend Webstack. Here's my book. If you like to read, you could always take my mentorship program, links below, or take one of my courses, solo courses, or my book. People love this book. So it's a few years old, but it doesn't matter. It's evergreen. Everything you learn in here is 100% used today. So that's one suggested book. The other book, if you already know how to code, you want to up your game. If you don't know refactoring, learn to refactor. There's a couple editions from this author, one for Java, one for JavaScript, but they apply to all languages. So check that out. Yeah. What's the other bookkeeping people like to know? So yesterday I recommended a jazzy album, which was Steely Dan. If you want to really rock out, this is an album I love. This is live. You can get the concert on YouTube, or you could listen to it on Spotify. This is the vinyl, of course, which sounds better. And this is Nirvana, live at Reading. Great show if you like Nirvana. All right, there you go. I've done that. And also, let me just say, I invite you to join my Discord here. As you can see, we have a lot of people. I think it's 2,000 people on here. Lots of good information, lots of discussions, coding help, development talk. We got some rooms in here, so it's a pretty good group. So I invite you to join. Link is below. It won't cost you anything. All right, so what I'll do is I'll answer a few questions, and we'll take it from there, see how that goes. Let me scroll back up. Yo. Hey, how are you guys? Okay, all right. Hey, check Calibro 35. It's like 70s funk made today. They're from Italy. I like them very much. I'll check that out, man. Thanks, Marcy. Cool. Today, just in time. Hi, everybody. Hello. What's up, nerds? This is, by the way, the official channel salute. I got the best vocal game in town. Did you make this music, Stef? Love it. Best vocal and live stream game, and now the best music intro. No, the jazzy stuff is not me. But my track is, well, my track is this thing here. I'll put that up. This is me here. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Anyway, that's me. But the jazzy stuff isn't me. I plan on composing some new stuff soon. I just haven't had time. Hello. How are ya? Hey. Sup? I'm good. Salut, Angel. How are you? Good. Marcy, Marcus, good stuff. Let's see if we got any questions here. Sunrise, Florida. How are Theos? Nepal, very cool. Hola. For web dev, how important is data structures and algorithms? For web dev, it is practically not important at all. I would learn design patterns and refactoring way before data structures and algorithms. Data structures and algorithms only come into play if you're getting into AI development, big data, data science, maybe game engine development, and even that's kind of sketchy. So yeah, no, not that important. It's well overemphasized, unless you're going to go work for a search engine or something. Glad I could catch you live. What do you believe is most important? Syntax rules of a language, or learning how to actually think and problem solve like a programmer? Think and solve problems, 100%. Syntax, because you're going to change languages over your career, and the syntax will change. And to learn the rules of a particular language or syntax is pretty trivial, especially with integrated development environments and coding tools. It's how to think like a coder is really what matters, how to problem solve. That's really ultimately the job of a professional developer. I'm good, that guy, Jamel. I'm good. How are you? Hope everything's cool. Thank you. Hugs back from Canada. Very useful tips. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. Cool stuff. Oh, we're doing good. So, when I was at school, they taught us Scratch and set games like World of Warcraft are made using it. I think my old school needs Studioweb. There you go. I don't know. They might be using it. Should I learn project management in order to become a web dev consultant? How? Depends at what level you want to consult. There are project management books out there. Project management for very large projects is very different than project management for small projects. In my freelance course, it basically is a course on project management, how to manage clients, how to manage the relationship with the clients. And this can be extended to one client or many clients or a team of people. When you start getting into enterprise level development where you might have 10, 20 or more people on a project, that's a whole different game. Yeah, there you go. You have good taste in music. Well, thanks, man. Cool. Thoughts on Swift as a first language? That's a good choice. I like Swift. It's a very well put together language. It's, so of course you're just doing iOS with it, although there is some server-side implementation of Swift, but it's not very widely used, so it's not something I would jump into. But Swift is a good language. Why not? How are we doing? Okay, good. How to stay focused for extended periods of time? Do you meditate? Meditation's cool. Getting up every half an hour, and do a little bit of exercise, walk around for 10 minutes. That will help you to give it a little break. Drink lots of water. That will help. Do you know a way to architect solutions? Do I know a way to architect solutions? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can I make a living freelance in web dev? Of course. I did it for many years, and I did very well. And many others do. I had to quit my job to focus on studying web dev. I enrolled in a full stack course, 9 months course. I'm currently midway, but I feel kind of not ready, even though I finished front end. Yosef, you have to start building things, build real things. In my mentoring program, as soon as people are done with the fundamentals, I have them build a demo website, their own website, and then I have them go out there and do 2 to 3 freelance projects, even little ones. Set up somebody's WordPress, set up their Shopify, whatever. Set up, build a static site. You just got to start getting your hands dirty with real projects and real code. Hey, Stef, what could you advise to nerds to develop to communication skills needed? Well, you see a link below. There's a course I developed specifically to help you develop that foundation. It's called Lizard Wizard. Take a look below. That will help you with your anxieties and so forth. In terms of communication skills, writing concisely and to the point is going to help you to organize your thoughts and organize how you speak, so you speak more clearly and concisely. So writing simply and concisely, learn the lizard wizard skills, link below. And in the next stream, I'll suggest a couple books on writing well. Again, by writing well, that will transfer over to spoken. Yeah, so there you go. It's such a pity that latency is too high for jamming together over the internet. Oh yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, there's latency. It's not going to work out. Do you think learning Laravel or Rails is still relevant in 2022? Yes, I know JS and learning Go, and a lot of older code bases for Corps are still big frameworks like these, aka the job market. Yeah, I always say let the job market dictate where you focus your effort, because you could always pivot. I know Laravel is widely used. I know that Rails is still used quite a bit. So just look at the local job market and see what's out there in terms of jobs, and then focus your learning accordingly. A lot of time what's buzzing in the interwebs won't filter down to the job market for a little while, for a long while, if ever. I just started school for cybersecurity. How much time and what should I focus on to get a good grades on my few programming courses? Just write a little code every day. The more code you write, the more quickly you understand coding and the languages. So just write a little code every day. Hey, Stef, it could be as little as 20 minutes a day. What would be your advice to nerds to develop the communication skills needed for an IT management job? I just talked about that. All right, Nadu says, I left programming for a long time. How can I come back with the enthusiasm I did before? Just start with beginners courses, whether it be mine or somebody else's. Foundation training, everything is from the foundation, and then start building real thing. A lot of people recommend Python for web dev, but I don't understand. Surely you need HTML, CSS, and JS first. Yeah, you do. Start with HTML, CSS, and JS, and then move on to Python if you think there's something there. Are you going to Maine this summer? If you do, please say hi on my behalf. Todd Boothby. I don't know. I might. We'll see how it goes. I like Maine. If people don't know my video here, this one. This is shot in Maine. I forget all of a sudden where it is. So it's a great place, super relaxing, super chill. I shot that video. Have you seen the Trongate framework for PHP? Interesting approach, I think. I haven't looked at it, Michael, so I don't have an opinion. How to train the mind to solve problems. Give us some tips. You do a great job. Yeah, as I said, break up the complex problems into little components and then solve each of those little problems. That is the first thing I would suggest. What are your thoughts on using WordPress as a headless CMS? Well, if it works for you, why not? Why not? Okay, to know. Okay, good to know. I know there's always a cool kid on the block for programming, but many companies only see risk in that versus open source projects. Yeah, companies don't want to start jumping into a new technology unless it's proven. And also if there's a lot of adoption, because imagine you're a company owner and some guy says, hey, some coder comes in, we got to use this new cool tech. So you build your software on new cool tech. This guy leaves and all of a sudden there's nobody else to hire to keep the code base up to date. That's a problem. Or maybe this new cool technology, because it's new and cool, has a lot of bugs and problems that are not foreseen because it's not vetted over time. Yeah, or maybe it just fades. Maybe it just fades. All these things have happened to me, by the way. So there you go. All right. Even though no devs left it for Deno, yeah, yet Node's popularity keeps increasing. Why do you think that it is? Is it because of MongoDB or Anhula? When anything gets popular, it's usually because it's reached a certain level of acceptance. At some point, technologies become ingrained, if you will, in the culture, and not much is going to displace them. So, for example, all the top languages today, they all been around for a while. So like PHP, for example, it's not the most beautiful syntax, but although it's getting more respect these days, it got so big and so popular that to knock PHP out would be unimaginable. I don't think it will happen in the next 20 years. Same thing with Java and JavaScript and C# and SQL. And these technologies are just so big now that I don't see them disappearing. What's your opinion on React Native? Well, it's widely used, a lot of job opportunities, so I think it's viable. How about bugs? How about bug bounties? I was about to say Bugs Bunny. How about Bugs Bunny? Any advice? I don't know. I've never pursued bug bounties. So that's if you like to do that kind of debugging work, if that's cool for you. I personally like building things. I like that, but you may be, Krista, you may like that kind of work. That's cool. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrencies? Well, they're here to stay. I was not bullish on them, although I was an attempted early adopter back when Bitcoins were 4 or 5 cents. You can watch a video where I talk about that. They're probably here to stay. You know, if, again, as I said, they've reached a tipping point in terms of acceptance. So I don't think they're going away anytime soon. I have no prediction, but I think the big money, the huge explosive money that was made on cryptos, I think generally that game is done. It would have been good to get into them 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That'd been fantastic. But today, I don't know. I'm sure there's money to be made, but you can make pretty good money on just, standard investment as opposed to crypto. Because I would argue there's more risk with crypto than there is in other areas of investment. But again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. Joe says, big fan. I'm just wondering, did I make a mistake choosing to learn Angular? I feel like I'm like it dying, everyone's switching to React. No, I don't know. Angular is going to be used by very large organizations. So that's first of all, think about that. Whenever you're looking at any technology, consider the type of business that would use it, number one. And so let's say you learn Angular and you find that you don't want to work for large organizations, or you find everybody's just jumping over React. It won't be too difficult for you to jump over to React. So don't worry about that. I want to start to use PHP framework. Which one should I use? Laravel. Where can I find good sources to learn? Thanks. Laravel is the predominant PHP framework. We use it for Studioweb, the SaaS and the Studioweb store as well. It's very solid. It will also teach you how to become a better coder. So I would recommend Laravel in terms of where to learn it. Make sure you know your PHP and your web stack well. Make sure you understand those fundamentals well. Then you could probably learn with docs and videos from YouTube and whatnot. Personally, I like Deno way more than Node.js, but sadly, the package ecosystem will not be on par with Node for a long time. Yeah, it takes time for things to evolve and develop, Bonjour, j'espère que tout ça va bien avec toi, Monsieur Ron Gigi. Bonjour, Uncle Stef. In your opinion, when do you think React will lose its popularity? Oh, I don't know. I think it's probably hit that point of tipping point where I don't think React is going to go anywhere. It may fade over time, but I don't think it's going to crash. I'm glad I could help. I would like to become a front-end developer. What kind of programming languages are must to learn to specialize in this field? JavaScript is the must. For front-end, JavaScript 100%. So you got to learn HTML5, CSS3, then jump into JavaScript. So if you want to do front-end development, then you want to get into either React or Vue or Angular. Let me just point out, once again, I have a Discord. I haven't been promoting it lately. It's pretty, I think we got 2,000 people who joined it, and it's pretty busy. I invite you to join. There's all kinds of good people in there, including some people on the stream. So there's all kinds of discussions, whether it's technical code or career-oriented stuff. Check it out, link below. I invite you to join the Discord. It's free. Let's see what else we got here. What's your opinion on Web3 and the decentralized web? In principle, I like it. I like decentralized anything. I think that decentralized web, decentralized everything is better. Software has taught me that. Business has taught me that. But I don't think that it's going to explode or take over because Web 2 is very good. So unless something radical happens, I don't think Web 3 is going to be a huge thing. But who knows? What's the future of desktop application? It's web. I have already created a billing system on my own using Python, still being used by my girlfriend's company. Ah, very cool. Very cool. I think the future of desktop is probably going to be web-based, so that it's cross-platform. But Python's cool too. Hey, Steve, how are you? Much appreciated. You have plenty of crypto videos. I'm going to watch them all. No, I don't have plenty of crypto videos. Hey, sir, I am Prasath. I started learning jazz, but I'm not getting confident, and many topics are confusing. How to make strong knowledge in JS. Just keep writing code every day. It's normal when you're learning a new language, especially if your first language, but it's going to be confusing at first. It becomes unconfused as you write more code. So every day, write a little code. Every day, write a little code. Even if you don't understand the code, write a little code. Then when you get a piece of code to work, then break the code and then look at the error message. And then unbreak it, fix it, and then break it in somewhere else, look at the error message. And then you're going to start understanding what type of broken code, what kind of error message results in it, if that makes sense. That's my little learning tip. So keep working. Do you use Macrometer, Fireworks, and Dreamweaver for building websites? Oh my geez. We haven't used Fireworks in 15 years maybe. Do people still use Fireworks in web development? I don't know. Dreamweaver they still use. Dreamweaver used to be the best code editor at the time. I don't know these days. I haven't looked at it in years. Macrometer Fireworks though, nah, I haven't used that. That's kind of old school. I don't know if people still use that. Hey Trey, man, how are you? Do you think WebAssembly is going to threaten JavaScript dominance all over the web? No chance. No chance. No chance. All right, guys. Wow, we're almost 40 minutes in already. Time flies. Any other questions before I let you go? I have to get off soon anyway. But yeah, that's it. So, you know, my album of the day, Nirvana, Live at Reading. Great. If you like Nirvana, this is a great, they were a great live band. Wow. I got my recommended books below. You can check out my Discord, as we see here. Pretty cool stuff. I invite you to join. And that's it. So if there's no other questions, I will let you guys go. Thanks for joining the live stream. Appreciate it. One last question. Any recommendations about contributing to open source? Contact a particular open source project that you want to contribute to and reach out to the people in charge and see what they have to say. They'll tell you what they want. I need your honest opinion on Windows Universal Platform application built using C#. I'm about to deploy an app to Windows App Store. I don't have an opinion because I never developed with UWP. So I don't have an opinion. But good luck with that, man. Just don't worry. Don't worry. Are you going to disappear in the future? Well, of course I will, eventually. What's your take on blockchain dev opportunities over the next 5 to 10 years? Decentralized is the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it will increase. I think it will increase more and more and more. I think it's still niche-y, but I think there's room to grow there. I'm just getting the hang of Sublime Text 3. Should I go for Sublime Text 4 immediately? Well, it's up to you if you want. I don't know how much better Sublime 4 is over 3, but see what people are saying. I'm sure the transition will be pretty easy. Stef, I'm going to do Java SQL Bootcamp. Very cool. Check out my bootcamp before. You might find it more interesting. Just catching your live for the first time. Big fan of your channel. I appreciate that, Raul. Thanks for joining. All right, boys and girls, thanks for joining the stream. I'm given a web-based project at school and don't know how to do it. Don't have a clue. Any advice? Start by breaking it down as I suggested. Think about the screens first, then the back end, and just start building out from there. All right. What else? COBOL is still good to learn in 2022. There are jobs in COBOL, so if you're one of the few COBOL programmers, you probably get a high-paying job. Just check to see if you like that kind of programming. Hey, Matthew, how are you? I'm about to sign off. Double guns, everybody. I got my bokeh lens going hard here. Pretty cool. All right, thanks for joining the stream. I'll leave you with my ASMR main Cape Elizabeth video. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Cheers.